Hey, I'm Steve Speck with Exo Mtn Gear. In about 36 hours, I'm heading up to Alaska on a Dall Sheep hunt, and we're doing this quick gear video for you. This is everything I'm taking with me. I will be with my guide, who's also one of my best friends, Tyler Boschma. So the spotting scope, tripod, and tent will divide up. But I'm going to load up everything inside of our 3200 as if this was a solo hunt, just to show you the total weight and that I can get everything into a 3200. And yeah, we're gonna get started. So I got a 3200 Exo K3, medium belt for me. Gonna just go through every item here and load it up as if I was in the field. So starting from scratch, I gotta get my water bladder in. The Platypus 3-liter bladder here. Drop that in the top sleeve. Run the bladder tube out through the porthole. There's a Velcro tab here in the top to hang the bladder from. And before I close this up, there's a couple items that I throw inside the water bladder sleeve, things that I just won't need during the hunt, typically until I kill an animal. So rope, and I always pack 2 pairs of gloves for processing the game. And then normally, if it was an archery hunt, I'd throw my game bags and stuff in here, but I actually throw those in a bag for my rear rifle bag. So going into the main bag, just kind of get all the straps loose. Open up the side zipper, and I start with sleeping pad, goes in the bottom, Thermarest Neo Air, pillow, Sea to Summit little pillow that weighs an ounce. So next I'll throw in my sleeping bag. This is a Enlightened Equipment quilt. It's I added a little fill to it. It's about a 25-degree quilt. For temps, we are expecting a lot of rain and 25 to probably 55-degree temperatures. So everything is based on that as far as the clothing that I'm packing. So I'll just take the sleeping bag, stuff it down in there, and I just kind of work it around the items I put down there in the bottom, and then I'll just bring the zipper up just a little bit. Next item, Hilleberg. So this is a Hilleberg and Hand 2. I pack just the shell as well as a bivy sack. I've got stakes and poles there. We ran this setup on the same hunt 2 years ago, and it was fantastic. We were able to clear night up on the mountain, sleep under the stars with the bivy sack, and then if it was raining or the weather, basically the weather called for it, we'd set up the Hilleberg shell. I don't put this in a stuff sack. I just leave this loose, and that way I can jam it down in here and fill up kind of all the space of the pack. It takes up a lot less space if you do it this way. In the morning, if this is soaking wet, I'll just throw it in the front stretch panel of the pack, and that way midday, sun comes out, I can dry it out. Our plan is to pack up camp every morning and be pretty mobile on this hunt. Work everything good and tight into the bottom. Come up. As I'm looking around, long johns I'm just going to throw down here in the bottom too. And then next item is going to be food. I've got 10 days here. Every day is 33 to 3,400 calories. I don't go super light with anything. I try to keep things that I do want to eat while I'm out there. Food is, it starts out heavy, but obviously every day I'm getting, 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds lighter. So one thing I do every day is in a Ziploc baggie, and I fold them into these nice little bricks. It takes up a lot less space that way. I'm going to save 1 bag of food that I'm actually going to put in the lid for quick access for that day. Titanium jet boil stove. This is an oldie. They don't make them anymore, but it's been a great stove for me. It's kind of on its last legs here. Stash pocket. Inside my stash pocket is a lot of different things, from first aid. I got, ibuprofen, Tylenol. I've got cotton ball fire starters. Battery bank, I have a 10,000 milliamp battery bank, cables, extra batteries. I have an extra headlamp I have a spot, black diamond spot for my main one, and then a spotlight where I just take the housing for it. And that way, if this was ever to be lost or break, I've got a backup headlamp. Stash pocket, I connect into the stash pocket loop right here. And that way I always know where that is. And as I'm looking around, that's about it for what's going in the main bag, except for my clothing there. So I'm gonna go ahead and run that all the way up to the top. Rain gear, I'm testing out this Canis rain gear this year. It's the first time I've ever used it. So far I'm very impressed. Haven't actually got it out in the field, but I'm very impressed with the quality of what I'm seeing. So I'm just gonna stuff that down around my food. And this is a Stellar Ultralight Puffy, super light, 11.8 ounce, 900 fill down puffy that I've been using for a few years and have really liked. And obviously I'm starting out pretty full, but by day 2, 3, 4, as the food dwindles out, it's going to be a lot easier to get items in and out of the pack. So that's everything inside the main bag. This is a little pocket that I built that's actually out of our lumbar pad fabric that I use as a rear rifle bag. So I just find anything I can that I'm packing with me to fill that up. So game bags, I just have a random assortment of one I made, just some other companies that I've used, had in the past. They all seem to work great. 2 pairs of extra socks and my bivy sack. So yeah, extra socks, bivy sack, and game bags in here to make my rear rifle bag. Normally I'll throw it in the stretch pocket, but with a pack this full, it becomes a little bit harder, so I'll throw it in the lid for now. And again, as I eat and multiple days into the field, they're gonna have a lot more room in the pack as it goes on. So inside the lid, throw my food. This is an Eagle Hawk knife. This company's out of Australia. Been using this for a couple of years. Very impressive little knife, S90V steel. I do have a, inside that stash pocket too, I have a little caping knife from them that uses just 60 XT blades. So that's the lid. In the very top pocket of the lid, I'll throw my headlamp. Make sure it's locked so it doesn't actually turn on me. Go into the side pocket of the pack, stakes, slide all the way down, tent poles, cinch that up. Other side, I'm going to take 2 packets of wipes on a 10-day hunt, and Katadyn Be-Free filter, and I pack an extra bag between the 3-liter bladder and then 2 of these. I can haul 5 liters of water at a time if I need to. And also, I had one of these fail on me before, so it does give me a backup bag in case I need it. So spotting scope, Swarovski ATS-65. My buddy Tyler will also be packing a Kowa 77. I may or may not pack this when I get there in the field, just depends. So that's just going to drop in the side pocket. Cinch that up. Tripod, Slick 624 with the Wiser Precision Nighthawk pan head. And then I actually replaced the center column with a carbon tube that I ordered on Amazon. This whole setup comes in at like 1 pound 15 ounces, so incredibly light for a really solid tripod and pan head combination. Swarovski binocular tripod adapter, and just my phone scope adapter. So that's in the lid. Spartan bipod, I keep that here in this lower side pocket as well if I need quick access to it while I'm hunting. If I get the, it doesn't seem very often you get the ability to lay prone, but when you do, those are certainly nice to have. Garmin InReach Mini 2, FHF bino harness, Swarovski EL Range TA binoculars. Last year was the first year using those. Was very, very impressed with that setup. Normally I have a little carabiner and I just attach my InReach there to the harness. Trekking poles will be in my hand. Prana Stretch Zion pants. I do some mechanics, leather gloves that I end up wearing and hiking with those a lot. Got two different, a base layer, mid layer. Technica plasma shoes that I'm wearing. I've been hiking with another pair of those for over a year now. I've been really, really happy with them. And then honestly, I would trade just about any other item in my pack for Crocs. When we did this exact hunt 2 years ago, we almost left the Crocs out, and they ended up being probably one of the most valuable pieces of gear that we had. We were able to Tyler killed a ram, and we packed out 15 miles by basically walking through the creeks the entire way out, and the pack out would have been extremely miserable had we not been able to do that. It was really steep sidewalls in the canyon, and these things were just absolutely invaluable. So those I just strapped to the front of the pack. As you can see, I got absolutely everything I need for this hunt in the 3200. All this stuff is on my body. You got some lightweight Catula gaiters in there. For my rifle, for all the rifle nerds, this is a 6.5 Creedmoor with the MDT Hunt 26 chassis. Got an anti-X action there. Paradigm carbon barrel, Thunder Beast 5-inch suppressor, Night Force NXS 2.5 to 10, and I'm shooting a 125 grain Badlands bulldozer bullet at 2,840 feet per second. This folding chassis is awesome. Strap that on the side of the pack, be able to have a lot better clearance ducking through brush and stuff. Some of that stuff up in Alaska gets pretty nasty. So we will weigh this for you, show you what it comes out to be. The only thing obviously not in here is water, and that's just going to fluctuate. Obviously it could be a pound up to 8-9 pounds if I had all 5 liters of water in there. So 42, 43 pounds. Feel pretty good about that for that's essentially a solo Dall Sheep hunt in Alaska. Again, expecting a lot of rain, good quality rain gear, good Hilleberg tent, and temps from like 25 to 55. So yeah, hopefully I can post some photos of a nice big old Dall sheep killed when I get back. Looking forward to the trip. We're gonna have a lot of fun. For more information, you can check us out at exomtngear.com.